Why is it so expensive?
We need to talk. We shouldn't be this surprised. Let's talk about it. Okay, so I usually don't make discussion videos because I like to have like the product tangibly in my hands. But news is going around with you can't tell already about the Airpods Max, and everyone's like very excited but also very surprised, which I'm not honestly surprised about. And everyone seems to be surprised about the price, which is $550. A big old price tag, I understand, but let's be honest, this isn't that surprising. This is Apple we're talking about, right? This isn't the first time they threw us a curveball that was too expensive to catch, or at least so we thought, because we ended up catching it anyway. Y'all remember when like the iPhone 10 first came out and the price and how everyone was surprised by that? Or even the AirPods and all the memes that popped up about it? Y'all remember that, right? How about the Mac Pro and the wheels? Or the Apple's monitor and the not included monitor stand? These were all surprising and everyone's just like, oh my goodness, it's so expensive. And then, of course, later on it just kind of became normal. And the thing is about like all these products, including the AirPods Max, is that they're marketed essentially to be very luxurious luxury items, and honestly they are. But at the same time, Apple likes to do this thing where it's like, this is a luxury item, but you, the normal average consumer, can also have it. So it's like Apple's always very good at marketing to the luxury community, the average consumer community, as well as the prosumer community, all at the same time. But the majority of us belong to the average consumer community, which is, what I'm technically part of, I guess, and maybe a bit of prosumer. That aside, because of that, most of us aren't used to seeing these luxury prices of $550. It's a lot of money to us, but like many of other Apple's things, it's going to get normalized, and this level of luxury will eventually become normal, like they did with the AirPods. Apple's very good at marketing these very luxurious products and telling the normal peoples that this is something you can have, this is for you, this is a luxury you can afford. And even then, if some of us can't afford it, we all know a bunch of you guys out there are going to be scrounging up some money to buy it yourselves, because you guys have an iPhone in your pocket, you have AirPods, there's a high chance you're probably going to be eyeballing this and getting it later, even though you're making fun of it today. The same people making fun of AirPods a long time ago now use AirPods, and it's considered normal instead of just some rich kid product. Now then, back on the price of $550, it may seem shocking at first if you consider the typical market of Bluetooth headphones for your average consumer. When it comes to the average consumer market for like premium Bluetooth headphones, we're usually thinking of things like Sony and Bose, like the Sony XM4s, which are like the high standard of what a really good Bluetooth headphone should be. Or even if you want to take a little step further for noise canceling, you have the Bose 700s. Well, I guess that's debatable. People argue between these two. But the point is, these two guys are like the mains of like the average consumer's thought of what a premium headphone is and how much they cost. With the Sony, when they first came out, they were $350. The Bose were $380, and these days you can get a bit cheaper. So the AirPods Maxes, which are going to come out real soon, like I think in the next week, are going to be compared to these two headphones in terms of their features and sound and whatever and build. But the thing is, this is sort of a unfair comparison in a way, because while the feature sets are the same, what distinguishes the AirPods Max from these two is that they're actually not from this high-level average consumer category. They belong to the luxury category. And this is very evident in the build, where it's very metallic. There's a lot of metal in it. And it has that telescoping, like, friggin' arm for adjustment, that band that's supposed to be like specially designed to be comfortable, removable pads with special material and whatnot. All these allude to the luxury category, where your average consumer usually doesn't go. We normally don't see the prices of $500 and up. If you do, you're probably in the prosumer category, or you're an audiophile, in which case you'd be looking at wired headphones for the most part. That, or you're a luxury consumer, in which case $500 and up for headsets and headphones is normal. Take for example Master & Dynamic, which is known to make very solid metal headphones, which are also Bluetooth, like their MW65s, which cost $500. And if we delve deeper into this luxury category, we have companies like Montblanc with their O1 headphones, which cost $595. Bang & Olufsen have their H9s, which cost $500, and they even have like their H95s, which cost $800. And these are all categorized as luxury headphones, which share a very similar feature set to the AirPods Max. It's a weird name. The feature sets are very similar, and the builds between them all are basically in that ballpark. The Bose come really close because they use a little bit more metal, but the Sonys do not. Those two guys belong in the premium, but not the ultra premium / luxury category. Sound wise, maybe they're all like melded in the same kind of world, but the build really does add to the price in terms of the design, R&D, and a whole bunch of other factors. That being said, this is my take on the AirPods Max and its price. If the AirPods Max are what Apple makes them out to be, and you know, everything is true, it is absolutely worth the price, and it makes sense. Let me explain. You're getting the build of a headphone that usually costs $500 and up, as well as the same feature sets as those headphones, as well as the premium level headphones. And you can most likely expect Apple to do a very good job in like the software and hardware departments with these guys. That being said, we can expect class-leading noise canceling, as they've done a pretty good job with the AirPods Pros, but since they're over-ears, I would expect them to be even better noise canceling. We can also expect class-leading transparency mode, also evident in the AirPods Pros, which did a great job with that transparency mode. It just made things sound more right than the transparency mode I would hear on other headphones. We would also expect class-leading sound, and this is all powered with like the special H1 chip, and they're saying this H1 chip is going to do all these magical things with their computational audio, and to me that just translates into a DAC, a really good DAC, with very good benefits that Apple provides, such as like seamless connection with all their products and anything else in their ecosystem. But I would expect these headphones also work very well outside their ecosystem, as AirPods Pros do. I personally use AirPods Pros, but I actually use a Samsung Galaxy Note Ultra. Samsung Note 20 Ultra. Like, they get these names. It's a long name. I digress. What else is there? We're also getting spatial audio, which is specific to Apple, and that's just packing into this price of this headphone. Not to mention, you're also getting a smart case, and this further adds into this price and luxury appeal. And when you put all this together, the build, the feature, the usability, this price starts to make sense. But to your average consumer who's not used to it, it seems like a bit much. Prosumers and luxury consumers out there who are used to seeing these prices are gonna be looking at these AirPods Maxes and being like, coming out of Apple, this is really good. This is probably gonna be better than all these more expensive luxury headphones that I have or could have. And these people are gonna be diving onto these headphones rather than these $800, $600 like Bluetooth headphones out there made by more premium brands. And that's actually pretty nuts. And then Apple, well, I guess not that nuts, because Apple just has that amount of muscle to like just muscle their way into this field. What Apple's doing is essentially they're taking this luxury build and like class-leading sound that you would only see in more expensive headphones, bringing it down to a level where the average consumer thinks about reaching it, and where the prosumers will dive straight into it. This is almost like very strategic, I would say. Right now, you're gonna be arguing about it and saying like, oh, it's too expensive, it doesn't make any sense, I can buy so many other things. But are you really? Because you'll be thinking out these headphones, and next thing you know, everyone has them. And that's just the thing about Apple. Apple's just very good about doing this kind of marketing and making it make sense. At first it doesn't, and with how the market goes and how Apple's very good at this kind of stuff, it slowly starts to make sense. This luxury becomes more normalized, and the standards of your average consumer goes up a little bit. And instead of seeing like a luxury product, it becomes just a regular premium product rather than a super premium product. And that's just how things go. That being said, that's why I'm not surprised their price is way, but it's also from my understanding why everyone else is surprised. We're not used to seeing these high prices on headphones as average consumers, but as a prosumer and for luxury consumers, this price is fantastic. And if we just meld it all together, I'm just on a roll, and I guess I'm basically ranting now. Or if it's a rant, it's I'm on a tangent. I'm not entirely sure. Point is, I'm rambling, and the price makes sense. We just don't see it yet. But there is a caveat. If these headphones fail to perform as well as Apple has mentioned, they are not worth it. But knowing Apple, they're probably gonna be doing this right, and I can expect the reviews in the coming weeks to basically say the price you're paying on these guys is worth it. Stop being surprised. It makes sense when you put all the pieces together. We're just not used to it yet. Just like the iPhone, just like the AirPods. This has been technical, and I hope you enjoyed this discussion rant video. I normally don't do them because, you know, I told you earlier, I like having it tangibly in my hands, but this is just such a hot topic, and I was honestly annoyed that everyone's like, oh, it's too expensive. Oh, I'm so shocked. Every single video, and even the news is talking about it in that kind of manner. Very clickbaity, and I just want to decompress suppress this information. If you guys, like that, let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe if you like this kind of video. If you really hate it, just let me know by hitting that dislike button. Subscribe if you loved it. Regardless, and you want to see more content, hit that notification bell if you want to see more of my content. This has been Technical. I will see you next time. Thanks for stopping by and listening. It has been a good one. I'm on that train, but I lost my train of thought. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.